Wow. Yeah, I'm back for another Portable Clint. I got a very awesome guest today. I worked with him a couple years ago, and I've loved this dude ever since. As soon as I showed up to the set, he cracked me up. As soon as he spoke, he cracked me up. His mustache is worth $1 million. And without further ado, David Lengel.
David Lengel. That's
Lengel.
me.
Hey, I got it right. Hey.
Hooray.
Hey, what's up, man? How are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. Thank you so much for doing this.
Of course.
David, tell me this. When did you get out here, and why did you come out here?
I came out here in May 2004, 1 week after I graduated from college. I came to take a 10-week on-camera intensive class, which culminated in a showcase. So I thought, oh wow, this is it. I'm going to make it in Hollywood. There was a big-time casting director that was teaching the class.
Who?
And should I say it?
Yeah.
Deb Aquila.
Okay.
And she promised all of these big-time agents coming to see us, and I was like, this is it for me. I'm going to get signed. I'm going to start working. There were 20 of us in the group, and 18 people got called. I did not. So I remember crying to her.
Were you really crying?
Yeah, I was bawling.
Okay. Hey, man, we've all been there.
I said, I was just so looking forward to this. I thought that, this was going to be my shot. And she's like, well, David, sometimes it takes actors hundreds of auditions. And I said, but I just want that chance. So it was a lesson. And by that point, I had already decided to stay for a year.
Okay.
So I committed to stay and give it a shot. And I'm glad I did, because I'm still here.
Okay, so Tell me about that first year. Did you finally get some yeses that first year, or did you have to wait around a little bit longer?
No, it was pretty quick after that. So the showcase, which 18 people got calls. A lot of the calls weren't great. You know how these things go.
I wonder if those 18 people who got called, if they're still getting called today.
A couple of them are still working.
Okay.
But,
any names that you could throw out? I mean, did somebody go into
No celebs.
Okay.
But it's a couple of friends of mine that I know are still grinding it out like me.
Sure.
But after that, I did a play in Glendale, and I did a big mailing for that play.
Did you live in Glendale? Is that why you did a play in Glendale? Why did you do a play in Glendale?
Well, I found it on Craigslist. So what I used to do back in the day is I would type the word Jewish into gigs on Craigslist, just acting gigs, talent gigs, whatever, just to see if they're casting any Jews. Because I was like, well, that's my wheelhouse. So I did that, and they were doing this Neil Simon play. It's great.
Okay.
It was like his first play, Come Blow Your Horn, and they were casting a 21-year-old Jewish guy from New York. I was like, I'm 22.
Sure.
I'm Jewish and from New York. I'm ready to go. So I auditioned for it from a Craigslist ad, and I got it, and I did a big mailing to 200 agents and managers, and I got one person to come because he played the part I was playing when he was in high school.
Wow.
So he came, and he got lost on the way. I remember he called me. He was like, David, I think I'm going the wrong way on the 101. I was like, I'm sorry, man.
You're my only person, dude. Get here.
But he made it, and afterwards he was waiting. He's like, you got some chops, kid. And he told me that his partner represents actors for TV, and so I met with his partner, and his partner is still my manager today. It's like 15 years later.
That is great, man.
It is crazy, yeah.
Okay, so he starts sending you out. Do you go out theatrically and commercially at this time, or is it just commercials? What's going on at the beginning?
I immediately got some meetings with a commercial agent first.
Who did you sign with?
I think I had a commercial agent for a month from a mailing, but my manager wanted me to get a new one right away, which, whatever, I did it. So my first commercial agent that he got me with was called Equinox. I don't think they exist anymore.
Is that where you work out now?
Yeah, now it's a gym. But I was there for about a year. I don't think I booked anything, and I switched to a different agency maybe a year later.
Why did you switch? Did you know that you needed to switch? Did someone tell you? Did they drop you?
I think the agent left is what happened. I don't remember it because there wasn't too much action, but so I switched. I think the agent left or it dissolved because I don't even know if that agency exists anymore. So I went to a new agent, and that agent is still my agent. This was 2006. They're called DDO.
Okay.
And I love them.
Okay.
And yeah.
You know what? I'm going to kind of fast forward for a second, and then we'll come back.
Sure.
Here's what I like about your theatrical bookings.
Okay.
How many theatrical bookings have you booked that have turned into a recurring character?
A few. Probably around 5 or 6.
Tell me what you're recurring on right this second.
Well, right now I'm on a kid show called Bizardvark.
Okay, but you were on go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I play the news reporter, Lou Scoopmaker, Malibu Action News.
Scoop maker.
Yeah. Breaks the scoop. But I've been on a bunch of kid shows. Were you thinking of one in particular?
Yeah, well, what's the one where you're like the maintenance dude at the school?
Oh, yeah, that's
the janitor, I guess they say.
That's right. That's Henry Danger on Nickelodeon.
How many episodes did you do of that?
I did 5. So.
And how about Bizark?
Bizardvark, I also did 5.
Did they know you from your first show, Henry Danger? That's how you got this gig?
No, it was separate people who were casting it, and I just got lucky that the stars aligned. But actually, on the show, on the crew, there were people who had done both. So they were like, "Oh, weren't you on Nickelodeon?" I was like, "Yeah, oh yeah, hey man, yeah, sure."
Okay, all right. Now, one's Disney and one's Nickelodeon.
That's right.
I hear that they don't like that. Have you heard anything like that before?
It hasn't been a problem for me.
I just heard that once. I don't know if it's true or not.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of are like Coke and Pepsi.
Yeah.
Like, there's a conflict between them. But it hasn't been a problem. And I wasn't on them at the same time. I mean, my reruns are airing concurrently. But when I shot them, they weren't like concurrent bookings.
Okay, so now let's go back. I kind of wanted to hit that because
Sure.
it's so important, because I think you did a few episodes of Dr. Ken.
I did. That was a good story too, because
Let me hear that.
I was booked for a patient on one episode, and they cut it out. That was the end of season 1, and then season 2 rolled around.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
You get cut out. Did you know you were going to get cut out before you saw it?
No. Well, actually, I did find out soon before it aired, because I was in like episode 17 out of 24, whatever, and it was really fun. We shot it, on the soundstage, and they do the live taping.
Sure.
But my scene was shot before,
Right.
earlier in the day. But they invited me to the live
Sure.
taping,
Yeah.
and I brought my parents, so my parents met Ken and the whole cast. And the scene aired during the taping, and it was great. It was really funny. Everyone laughed. I felt very proud to bring my
Were your parents in town visiting?
Yeah,
when
they were in
happened?
town, and I
Perfect
remember
time to
asking.
visit.
Yeah, it was good timing, and I remember asking someone, "Can I bring my parents to this?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, bring your parents." I was like, "Okay, great." So I brought them to Sony, and Ken
awesome.
shook their hand. He was really nice, and the scene was great. So they invited everyone who appeared on that season to the wrap party at the end, and the casting director, Susie Ferris, said to me, "Oh, I'm sorry you got cut out. Your scene got cut." And I was like, "It what?" I didn't know. I was like, "Yeah, oh, it's airing next week." "Oh, yeah, no one told you?" I said, "No, I didn't know." But, summer came after that, and, I had a good summer that year. That was 2016. And then...
Wait, what makes it a good year? A good summer,
I was
you
just
say?
on a roll that summer.
Tell me about the role. What else did you book?
Well, we did our commercial in February.
Fruit of the Loom
Yeah,
commercials.
Yeah, and then in April I did an episode of Henry Danger, and then June and July I booked 10 jobs in 10 weeks.
Wow.
It was
10 jobs in 10 weeks.
That was
Dude,
the summer of my
awesome.
life. Yeah, I'd like some more of that now. But yeah.
Did you think you would keep doing that the whole time? When you're those 10 weeks, did you think it would always be like that?
I remember saying to my mom, I was like, it's not always going to be like this, and I have to just be thankful and grateful and just soak it up while I can. But
Okay, so you find out that you got cut out. So tell me about when you came back for another Dr. Ken. How did that work out?
So it was like July, and I had booked like 3 jobs in a row at that point, and I got a text from my manager, and I was like, oh my God. And my parents were in town.
Again?
Yeah, they visit a lot. And I was like, you're not going to believe this, but they just called me back for Dr. Ken. They pinned me for the season premiere of season 2. And I was like, I didn't expect that.
Playing the same patient?
Different patient. So
Okay, and it's good because that part was cut out. This is a brand new character.
brand new, I I wore different glasses. You know, it was slightly different. But I was Ken's patient this time. The first time I was his wife's patient,
Okay.
who was a psychiatrist, which I really liked that scene. I played like a therapy patient talking about my problems, which was really funny. And then when I was Ken's patient, I had, you know, physical ailments. But I was in the season premiere, and then they pinned me for the second episode too. So I got to do 2 episodes back to back, and the most amazing part I haven't even gotten to yet. He was promoting the season 2 on the Today Show, and they showed my scene on the Today Show with Billy Bush, and Billy was like, "Who's that guy with the glasses and the mustache and the nose, the mask that you can buy in the party store?" And Ken was like, no, that's David Lengel. He's a
Wait, have you ever heard that before? That whole thing that you just said?
The Groucho Marx
Yes.
face? Yeah, I mean, Groucho, I've heard that one.
Because dude, it works. It works.
It does. You know, it's me, and
Yeah.
I grew the mustache. I haven't shaved in 5 years. So you know, just let it roll.
So wait, when you're asked that question, are you willing to shave? What do you say?
I say absolutely yes. I would love to have a reason to shave. I say yes.
Okay, so how many did you do of Dr. Ken altogether?
Well, I did 3, including the one that I got cut out of.
Okay.
But I got pinned for a couple, but you know how it is.
Yes,
That
exactly.
didn't happen.
If it didn't get canceled, do you think you would have done more?
I think so. They're awesome over there.
I don't mean to bring that up. I was just curious if that was something.
I think I would have, because they were going to bring me back for a couple more, and it didn't happen. But I think I was just timing, and if the show continued, there would have been a place for me. Because Ken said that he wanted to kind of replicate his real life experiences, and you know, as a doctor, you see patients come back over time, so that he wanted to kind of capture that.
Okay, now you book a lot these days, right? I mean.
You know how it is.
I know how it
Yeah.
is, but you work theatrically and you work commercially.
Yes.
But you also found a nice little thing to do between bookings and between auditions.
Yeah, so my hobby / side hustle is I go to estate sales, thrift stores, garage sales, secondhand shops, and I buy stuff for $1 or $2, and then I sell it on eBay for 5 to 10 times or more, you know, whatever.
Give me the
Treasure
best
hunting.
case scenario
Best-
when you buying something and selling it for a lot more.
Okay, so I usually buy books and records, DVDs, media stuff, but this one house I saw they had a box of political pinbacks. Like, oh, these are cool.
Wait, what are pinbacks? Just
Like a button, like
Okay,
a campaign
just making
button.
sure.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, let me pick a couple out, you know, and so I put some in on top of my stack. And I go, how much for the pile? And say $15. Like, you take 10. And they're like, oh, let's do 12. So I get all that stuff for $12. I come home and I look up this political pinback that I bought. It had some, I think it was like a Navajo Native American slogan on it. But at the bottom of it, it said Goldwater. So it was a Barry Goldwater campaign button from 1964 presidential election.
Wow.
When he ran. He didn't win, but he ran for president. And I looked this up, and I saw it sold at auction for $500. And I was like, why? What? So I listed it on eBay for like a couple $100. I got like 3 watchers in the first day, and I ended up selling it for $180. But I mean,
hey, man,
yeah,
that's awesome.
it was fun. But
How many things do you have listed on eBay right this second?
300.
Really? So you're constantly doing this.
Yeah, I acquire stuff every day, and I sell like 1 or 2 items a day.
How much money do you think you make a year doing this?
I don't-
You can
I don't-
ballpark it. I mean, are we?
It's not a lot. It's
okay,
not a lot.
that's what I was going to say. Is it thousands, hundreds?
It's thousands, but it's not. I'm not. It's
But
it's
it's
not
a-
a job. It's a hobby. I really enjoy it.
Okay,
yeah.
but I guess what I'm saying is, it's you're making money, you're doing something you enjoy doing, and it's not like a real job. But
That's
yet
right.
you figured it out on how to be your own boss.
Yeah, I'm always stopping at places to buy stuff. Like on my way to an audition, it also calms me down. Like I'll just go to the books or the DVDs, and I'll just scan through them, and just, you know, before an audition, I just do that. And I was like, oh yeah, I scored this was for $3, and I can sell it for 20. And they're like, all right, that pays for my gas on the way here, or whatever. You know, it just
David, I
little
love it,
things
man.
like that make me relax.
I love it.
Thanks.
You get an audition today, okay, for tomorrow for a theatrical TV show.
Okay.
Okay? It's 5 pages. When do you start looking at the pages?
When I'm able to kind of get home and
Okay.
chill.
You get home and chill. How long are you going to look at those 5 pages to study? It's a comedy.
I'll read through it once, and then I'll walk away from it, and then I'll do something to relax, and then I'll come back to it, and I'll start practicing it. Probably an hour.
How do you practice? Just saying the lines over and over and over, or what do you? Because you book, and I want to
Yeah.
know what you do to book.
I don't know if I have the best method or anything, but yeah, I'll just say it over and over again. I'll read the other lines too. Because I usually rehearse by myself unless a friend is there to do it. Then it's better, obviously. But yeah, I want to know what the other lines are so that you get the feel for the rhythm of the scene and like your cue lines, and so I read them out loud. I mean, and yeah, I just do it until I like know the word. I can say the words without reading them.
Are you off book when you go into the room?
Oh yeah, I mean I carry my script, my pages,
But you never look down at them?
I will, especially if there's like technical jargon. I'll pretend my sides are like a clipboard, like, oh yeah, and then we're going to the
Yeah. The
yeah.
old clipboard trick.
yeah.
Have you ever had an audition that made you want to quit your whole career?
Quit?
Yes.
An audition that made me want to quit.
Because
No.
you thought you did a horrible job?
I don't think that's happened. I really don't put too much emphasis on any single audition. I mean, I'm relieved when they're over.
You are relieved, right? It's really nice when the audition is over with.
Yeah, you're like, oh, now I can just relax and breathe and stop sweating. And,
Yeah. Are you like if you have an audition today, are you constantly thinking about that audition, or do you just kind of?
Yeah, all my energy is kind of focused. It takes so much focus to just get anything done, as an actor when you have an audition or a booking or a meeting or whatever. So once that's over, it's like I'm free.
What's your proudest booking?
Maybe my first legit TV booking. It was a movie for the Hallmark Channel. I mean, I don't know. This just popped in my head.
Yeah.
Starring Tiffany Amber Thiessen and Faye Dunaway, and Eric Roberts was in it. But it was
Eric Roberts. He likes doing movies like that.
yeah, it was good. I played a tech guy. The movie was called Pandemic, and there was like a bird flu-like virus spreading around the country.
Sure.
And it was I had booked an indie film like a year before. But this was my first real booking with my manager and agent, and I remember telling my mom, and she just screamed and started hyperventilating. I think at that moment she kind of realized that I was going to have a career, or at least be able to work, and it kind of made it all legit.
Yeah.
So that was very meaningful.
That's awesome.
I remember I was living with some roommates, and I was in my room when my manager called me, and I walked out, just put my hands in the air and said, "I booked Pandemic."
There's nothing better than the day of a booking, right?
Yeah, it's great. It's cause for celebration and just feeling good, and just financial relief. You kind of just see the scope of it. And,
Yep.
yeah.
Have you ever been on a set and you freaked out because you couldn't memorize your lines or anything like that? Have you ever had a horrible day on a set?
I don't know if I've.
That's
had
fine,
that,
man.
yeah.
Okay. Have you ever worried about your career, or does things just keep working out?
No, I'm very worried. It's just kind of a constant battle of balancing life and this feeling of, will I continue to do this? Because every job feels like it's your last job, kind of
Right.
like how lucky I am to have this happen, and you see the competition, and it's just getting more fierce, as the years pass. More people are coming, and there's trickle down with famous actors taking smaller jobs, and but there's more and more content, so you got to take the opportunities where they are, and don't give up, and keep going, and don't get too happy with where you're at, because you got to keep pushing. There has to be some driving force in the grind, because it's a big grind.
What's your end game out here? What do you want? What's your number one goal? What do you want to achieve out here?
I just want to keep getting benefit, health insurance, and I just want to keep existing. I'm pretty happy to be me. I'd love to be on a series, but I don't. If that doesn't happen, that's fine. Like, I just want to be able to keep doing.
It's funny. I keep asking that question to people, and I'm always expecting to be to be the number one movie star, but no one's saying that. The only thing they're saying is to keep existing out here. Yeah,
you kind of want to let your rope loose so that you get extra slack, so you can keep climbing up the mountain, and you don't want to get to the end of that rope, because then it's scary.
Any acting advice anyone's ever given you that you've kept in your back pocket?
Just be me, I don't need to do too much. Just walk in the room and people are going to laugh.
David, listen, that's happened to me with you.
Right.
I remember at Wardrobe, you showed up and I'm going, wow, that guy, I don't know what he's doing, but he's perfect. That guy is perfect.
Well, thanks, Clint.
And you literally, as soon as you open your mouth, like I said at the beginning, you're funny. You carry yourself great. You have just tons of confidence with being a guy who doesn't look like he would have confidence, which makes you sellable. You know what I'm saying?
It's authentic.
Yes.
I know who I am, and I'm far from perfect, but none of us are perfect.
None of us. But dude, I love your character, dude. You're funny. Every time I see you, I'm glad you're working. Like, you're one of those guys I'm always glad to see working.
Well, thanks, dude. I feel the same way about you.
Thank you, brother.
When I see you at auditions, when we worked together that time, and those spots are some of my favorite ones.
Yeah, we shot some Fruit of the Loom commercials for the internet, but paid very nicely.
Yeah, we did a whole campaign in one day.
And I feel like we shot like six.
At least six.
At least six. I feel like it was a lot at first.
It was, and they created a whole website around us with a lot of GIFs.
Yes.
Floating heads.
What was our names?
Josh and Donnie, and we were Josh and Donnie Super Cool Superstore for Men, keeping men cool.
Dude, you are awesome, man. All right, is there anything else I need to know about you?
Yes, I'm a big fan of the New York Mets, and I have a podcast after each game. Yeah, we're doing recap. My buddy TJ McNeil and I are
How do you know TJ?
TJ and I met on a film, actually. He's another actor. He's a musician too, and we just started talking about the Mets, and I invited him to go with me to a fan club game down in San Diego, where there was 1,400 of us wearing the same T-shirt and just cheering together in the same section, and we had a blast. And we were talking about the Mets after every game. So he was like, "Let's just make this a podcast." So yeah, we're doing it.
Where can I find your podcast?
I think we're on an app called Anchor. I don't know if we're on Apple yet, but the name of it is Ass in the Jackpot, which is a reference to an incident between the Mets and an umpire where they tossed our best pitcher out of the game for throwing behind a runner. It was against the Dodgers, actually, 3 years ago. But anyway, Ass in the Jackpot, yeah.
Ass in the Jackpot. David, I think you just gave the perfect interview.
Oh, I don't know about that, but
no,
thanks.
You did. David, thank you, man. Can you do me a favor?
Yes.
Can you tell everybody adios?
Adios.